thanks for joining us for this video. Before we left for our trip up to our property, a 700-mile road trip, we purchased a couple of Walkie Talkies, portable radios, whatever you want to call them. And we knew that we would need them for a lot of things, so we looked for kind of more of like a prosumer model and upper level, which is all relative. But we thought we'd do a quick review of this particular model, tell you some of the things we love, some of the things we don't like, because there's definitely both, and some of the things we learned from using them, and then kind of share a little bit of how we have used them. These are a Cobra floating model. They are a GMRS waterproof, so you can take them out boating and you can talk to each other under the water. No, I don't know about that, but they're supposed to be waterproof. They even have instructions on how to blow the speaker out if it's kind of muffled. So they've got a belt clip that's detachable. It's right on the top here, so you can take the belt clip off. In fact, you have to get to the battery compartment, which is something we don't like. But you have to take this off in order to take the battery compartment off to get batteries.
And this also makes you look really cool if you didn't already know.
Yeah, if you wear this around, you look super hipster.
All the girls or all the men will want you.
Yeah, and if you're in a busy area, there's a lot of chatter too. So I mean, you can listen to anything from farm workers to people goofing off in Walmart. So this particular model came with a charging base, and it also came with rechargeable batteries. So everything's supposed to be good to go. In a nutshell, the batteries, they don't last that long. Even when you're not using the radio, I mean, they'll last most of a day if you're not using the radio.
I think part of that reason is because it has an LED light on the bottom, and I don't know this, but Jesse believes that he was bumping it on accident, so the LED light was on constantly, therefore draining the battery.
Yeah, if you look at the proximity of this, it's terrible. The squawk button, the talk button right here, and there's a little button for an LED light, which sounds really cool on the box. The problem is, you can turn it on accident. And it doesn't even matter if the radio is turned on, the little LED light turns on. So if you inadvertently intend to hit the talk button and you hit the LED button, the LED light turns on. But if it's daytime, like right now, you can't really tell that light's on.
It's not a push and hold. You push it on, and then you push it off when you notice it's on.
And you push it. It feels just like the talk button. So this thing's on your super hipster hip, and you reach down and you hit the talk button or something, and guess what? That sucker's going to drain your battery. That may or may not have been happening to us. I definitely wasn't impressed with the battery life. So
we were driving for hours, so we didn't notice.
Yeah. So anyway, that's about that. It's pretty cool. I'm sure we haven't had a chance to use the flashlight part of it, but they probably could have done something a little better. Maybe you push and hold it for a couple seconds or something so you don't inadvertently turn it on. It's one of those little simple things you learn after you build the product. Anyway, so you take a couple of screws off here. This is the waterproof part. This is a sealed compartment. There's 3 AAA batteries in here. They are rechargeables, and they do charge fine. The charging base, pretty convenient. It's actually a USB. I think it's called a micro or a mini USB, one or the other. And it actually, you can charge one radio at a time. There's this little waterproof cap. You can plug each radio in individually too if you wanted to just charge this one.
So you can charge this from your computer if you needed to then, right?
Right, so you can charge this from any USB charger at all. Your computer, your car, anything. So definitely versatile, I'll give them that. It's well planned out there. And there's a headset port in here too. So if you wanted to wear like an earbud or something like that, that might be pretty practical for you. Didn't come with any. And we don't really have any laying around, so we haven't really used that feature yet. But I did notice something, and I can't be specific about it, but in using these, we were talking back and forth, and then at some point, they got really muffled. And we aren't using them in water. I don't know what happened, but my diagnosis was somehow or another, I had pushed down on this little rubber plug or something, because I pulled it out, and suddenly, everything worked perfectly again. And I still am without an explanation for what happened there.
So if it's not working and it sounds muffled, just start pressing random things and it'll probably start working again.
Yeah, I don't know. Very odd. So anyway, we just pulled this. I pulled on my radio. I just pulled this little rubber plug out and everything worked perfectly. Some of the other features that it does have a weather radio, which is an emergency broadcast. It actually scans the National Weather Service radio stations for a weather broadcast. So if you were in a dangerous area or you saw lightning storms coming or something, you could push that button, it'll scan for those radio stations, and it'll broadcast on your radio, which is kind of snazzy. It does have a lock button, which is good, so you can't inadvertently change your volume, your channel, or turn the radio off.
LED.
Or I don't think it even affects the LED, unfortunately. So that's all good. The bright orange was a factor for us too. I wanted something that wasn't easy to lose, and I don't know if you've ever had a black radio, but they just disappear.
Yeah, I could see that.
So a couple other things. It's got a bunch of weird features. You can scan channels looking for people to talk to. I don't know.
In case you want to be annoying as hell.
Yeah, I don't know. So I guess if you didn't know what your partner was on, you could hit scan and tell
Yeah.
them to talk. But if you're telling them, you're probably talking to them anyway. Channel up and down. I can't remember if these are 24 channels or something like that. I guess we could push the button and find out. 22 channels.
Yep.
There are some high frequency and low frequency, or high range and low range channels in there. So you read your manual, make sure you know which ones you're working on, because some definitely have a shorter range than others. But because of that, they might be less crowded. So if you're having a lot of interference, you might go to one of the shorter range channels, and you might get better communication instead of hearing everybody and their mom talking about who knows what. So that's a little bit about these radios. There's probably a lot more features we don't know that much about. They've got a pretty sturdy antenna. I'd say that's pretty sturdy. Overall, the radios seem like they're sturdy. We haven't felt like we had to be, baby them or
They do work. I know that's always a concern when you get a product. So we drove about 700 miles and over 2 days, and it worked perfectly. We also were able to back up our trailer multiple times, and the radios seemed to work well.
Yeah, what we were doing is communicating between cars. So Alyssa was driving behind me, and she was helping me. We were either communicating about when to stop, why to stop, speed traps.
I have to pee.
Yeah.
I need more coffee.
Yeah. The police are behind you. Don't speed. Stuff
I
like
have to
that.
pee again.
I'm hungry and I need coffee. One thing we agreed on. No, I'm kidding. One thing we agreed on our trip was that at the end of everything we said, we were going to say beep-a-doop, because these radios have what's called a Roger beep. I don't even know what that is, but at the end of a transmission, it goes beep-a-doop, and that's so your other person knows you stopped talking.
I thought it was more like boodle-doop.
Boodle-doop? I don't know. Just in case your other person couldn't tell you stop talking, the beep tells you they stopped talking.
It's kind of annoying, but it's actually
Yeah.
really great too, because sometimes I wouldn't hear anything that Jesse said, but I would hear that, so I knew that he was trying to talk to me. So if it was important, we could flag each other down and pull over the side of the road. So.
And you can adjust the volume on that, but it was kind of handy because sometimes if you've got it, like in my case, it was stuffed into the seat, and all I heard is, and then I hear, so I know something happened. So I know to check the radio and say, hey, I wasn't listening to you. If you were talking to me, you might want to say that again. So you can adjust the volume on that. It's pretty freaking loud. The other thing we found out with these radios over the course of that trip was, if you talk this far away from the radio, they can't hear anything.
Yeah.
You got to eat the microphone, as
My
they say.
dad always told me, from the time I was old enough to talk on one of these things, don't talk up here. But we learned for these, you do need to talk up here.
Yeah. And you need to talk right into the grill. There's a grill right on the front that has the speaker and all that or something in it. And if you talk this far away, they can't hear you.
Yeah,
But if you get up really close, it's really clear. So talk really close.
And it doesn't really sound muffled at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, it sounds like a CB. I mean, we all just go, can you hear me, Johnny? We do that because it sounds about like this. So that's a little bit about the radios. So we've used them. Yeah, we're hoping to use them around the property because we're going to be up and around and up over the hill and this and that and the other thing. So if we've got a way to communicate, it keeps us from having to either send smoke signals or use our cell phones. So this is a little bit more ranchy type.
Do you remember what the range on them was? I know the box says something like 20 miles or something like that, but it wasn't that much.
Oh, it's fantastic marketing. We could probably talk to Washington, D.C. according to the box on these things. But no, according to the box, I think it was 32 miles. It's not going to go 32 miles. We had spots where we couldn't even go 200 feet. But it really does depend on the amount of interference. Like we were driving underneath power lines, driving by power plants, creating dams.
I believe in cities, because there's a lot of interference in cities, I believe it was harder to hear each other too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, even like a stoplight away, there was nothing. There's just too much radio interference, and these are ultra low power radios.
And I believe that's just a thing you're going to deal with Walkie Talkies. It doesn't have to do with this brand necessarily. If you're going to go the Walkie Talkie route, just have realistic expectations.
Yeah, I mean affordability. I think we paid about $80 for the two. And honestly, with like a CB radio, which is a higher quality radio, you're going to pay $100 each for something like that. So for what they are, they've done us well. They've got some blemishes. The LEDs, I might disconnect that or something. I really don't know. Yeah. Be sure to talk into the grill. That way your friend can hear them. If you don't talk close enough, they can't hear you.
Should we test it out briefly? I can go over there.
Yeah, if you want to actually go back that way.
Okay.
That way. Go the other way. There you go. Keep walking, keep walking, keep walking. Oh, okay, you're out of sight.
Is this good?
I can still hear you, and it looks like Bugaboo can hear me too.
So here's me talking about 6 inches away from the mic, and here's me with the mic pretty much in my mouth.
Very nice. Yeah, it's really found it's really important to talk with it in your mouth. So just get used to kissing the microphone. So that's a little bit about these. Oh, okay. I guess she's coming back. So it's a little bit about these radios. They've been really good for us. We throw them in the charger base and we just leave them there until we're going to use them. Grab them if we need them. And we hope to get lots of life out of them. The waterproof thing's going to be really helpful for us because we plan on using them in inclement weather. We're going to be building a house, which means we'll probably be on different parts of the property at different times. So all kinds of projects. So if you pick up a pair, this is pretty good. I think we picked these up at Walmart. You probably get them off of Amazon or Walmart.com or any of the major big box retailers.
We'll include a link below this video just in case you want to order it online or something.
Yeah, if you'd like to support our blog, you're welcome to click the link in this video, and we do get a small commission from purchases that you make through that link. So if you'd like to, that's fine. If not, no worries. If you want to touch them, definitely go into a retail store and you'll find some that you can shake the box. Although these were like chained to the wall, so you'd think they were made of gold. I don't know. We had to go get security to unlock them. So anyway, you might find that you can't even hardly move the box to read the back, which was my experience. So. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, and if you haven't already followed our blog, we're new to a piece of property, and we're going to try to build an off-grid homestead. We're going to do our best. We're going to try to build our own home. We're going to try to put our own septic in, do all of our own plumbing and electrical and things like that. So if that sounds interesting to you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube, and also visit purelivingforlife.com. That's our blog. There's a lot of great content over there. We'll be making more as we get into more trouble and find more adventure.
And we'll also be hosting giveaways for nifty little tools like this.
Yeah, we're looking for things that people can use that we thought we might give away to kind of incentivize people to follow us a little bit. So stay tuned for those. And if you don't subscribe, you probably won't find out till it's too late. So I'd recommend you subscribe. And if you follow Instagram or Facebook, check us out on those too. We post up random stuff to those channels also. So thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.